How you doing, guys? It's Jared Bear. Today's date is Saturday, February 13th, 2021. It is a very somber, very depressing day here today. Many of you are probably already aware. Many of you probably aren't. And if you're not, I would suggest you watch a video I uploaded called Remembering a Fallen Cancer Warrior. It's about 5 minutes long. I recorded it last night before I went to sleep. It's pretty self-explanatory. I'm just not with it. I haven't been with it for the past couple days. I'm just heartbroken and depressed and really sad and melancholy. My heart feels heavy. I'm keeping in touch with the boy's mom and his grandmother. Periodically, I reach out to them and I'll check on them and ask them how they're doing. But it was the boy's mom who actually broke the news to me that her son had passed away on Thursday evening. He was just 8 years old, and it's really, sometimes you can never find the right words to say in a situation like this, and most of the time there are no words to say, because there's nothing you can say or do that's ever gonna make the situation better. It's never going to justify what happened, and a lot of people like to do that. It's human nature, I think. When we find ourselves in situations that we can't control, we flail around and try to reason and logic an easier solution, or we try to find light at the end of the tunnel. But in situations where we lose a child to cancer, there is no positive way to look at this. I mean, sure, you can say that he's not suffering now, he's in a better place, but even I can't say he's in a better place. I would argue that the better place would be him alive, healthy, with his family, not in a cold grave somewhere. But we can argue and debate that all day long. I'm here to talk about my feelings about this particular situation and this particular child, because his mom told me that every time he would have to go for his chemo, every time he would have to get pokes with needles or whatever the case may be, it would be my letters that would cheer him up. And I'm not here to brag. I'm not here to pat myself on the back. I'm not here for a little gloating, showboating situation, but my letters, when I would write to him, they put a smile on his face. They would help lift him up. They would cheer him up. He even told his mom that he really loved me, and I really and truly love that kid, and I still do, and I always will. I'll love him forever until the day I die. But I really had a positive impact and a positive influence on this young man, and he definitely, without question, without any wonder, return that favor to me and all the lives that he's touched, all the people he's influenced. But it's really it's a shame that now we're at this moment that I feared would happen. Now, his prognosis originally was a week to 10 days. And I gotta tell you, this kid's determination was really fucking strong. I mean, he lived beyond the prognosis. He lived days after he was told that he would only have so many days left to live. He passed away on Thursday, February 11th at 10:39 in the evening. He was only 8 years old. He was born on May 10th, 2012. So I've got all that information. His mom and I, we've been talking briefly and in text message, because right now she's busy with funeral arrangements and things like that. And I had written a poem for the young man, and I guess it's going to be read aloud at his funeral, which I'm honored, but I wish the circumstances could have been a lot better than what they are. But I knew this was going to happen. I knew that this moment was coming, because his mother and his grandmother, whom of which I also speak with, they've been briefing me on what's been going on with him, since we found each other because we actually found one another on Facebook, and when I left Facebook, we exchanged email addresses and cell phone numbers and things like that. So we still keep in touch. And now that the young man has passed away, he's gone. I still want to keep that open communication. I still want to check on them, and I encourage them to email me, text me, call me if they want to. I don't want for them to think that just because the boy is gone now that somehow our friendship is over, our friendship is done. That's furthest from the truth as far as I'm concerned. But it's really it's one of those things that sometimes there are no words. There's nothing you can say or do that's going to make this any easier. It's not going to make it any better. You can shed all the light that you want on it. It's just not going to make it better. He was just an 8-year-old kid, for Christ's sake. Had cancer. He had the same kind of fucking cancer I did. And I know typically in a daily rant recording like this, I usually, I have a fiery way about myself and I just go off. And, I say whatever comes to my mind without actually thinking about it or considering later on the consequences. I just don't care. I'm out of fucks to give. I've been bankrupt on fucks to give for a very long time. But there is just no excuse for children to die at the hands of a disease that, quite frankly, I feel that we should have already found cures for this shit a long fucking time ago. We're in the middle of a pandemic, and in a matter of, months, I think it was, not even a year, in a matter of months, they found a remedy to COVID. But, cancer's existed for millennia, and for some reason or another, we just can't find a cure. Which I find to be really fucking, just out of sorts. It's out of hand. Because there's money to be made. That's why. Well, I'm sorry that there's people who sell their souls just for money, just for the almighty dollar, or for the popularity they get from using other people's kids as a trophy or as a stepping stone to their fame, whatever the case may be. But, I actually give a fuck about the people. And I really and truly cared about this young man. And my heart is just broken today. It's I don't know, man. I've been depressed ever since I got the news yesterday. I've just been in a down, just a sad mood, melancholy mood. I was contemplating even doing the Sunday video update tomorrow because, I do the live stream on my YouTube channel here. I do that every Sunday at 3 o'clock. I've been considering maybe taking tomorrow off, and tomorrow's, Valentine's Day, so I'm strongly considering potentially just calling off the Sunday video update for tomorrow and, coming back on the 21st. I don't think I have the mental capacity to continue. But then again, I'm not sure if his mom or his grandmother, I'm not sure if they watch my YouTube channel here, but on the flip side of that, maybe I should do a Sunday video and dedicate it to the young man. I haven't decided yet. I'm really hurt. I'm really depressed. I'm heartbroken. And one of the things I wanted to talk about, I kind of wanted to rant about a little bit today, is this, or a couple things actually. But the main thing that I wanted to talk about is, as a survivor of, by the way, the same cancer that he had, Wilm's tumor, as someone who survived that, there is a specific pain that unless you've had to go through cancer yourself, or if unless you've had to watch your own child go through that, your own flesh and blood, you will never truly understand the pain. Now, I understand, in all of humanity, human instinct, yes, everybody feels sad if you have a heart. You have this great supreme level, this amplified level of empathy for children, especially for children because they're so little and they're defenseless. There's nothing that they could have ever done in life to deserve this kind of shit to happen to them. So yes, that's just human instinct. We have to protect our young. We have to protect children all the time, period. And when things like this happen, it's a situation where even we can't save them from what's happening. We could if we didn't put money, if we didn't prioritize money over people, we very well could be more about protecting and saving the children. But we don't live in that kind of world, unfortunately. But unless you've actually had to sit in a fucking room, if you've had to sit behind a curtain, if you've had to sit in a room with a child getting access for chemo, and the medical staff wearing their fucking hazmat suits, they go in there with, they look like they're from outer space. Unless you've had to go through this kind of trauma, this kind of experience, this kind of situation, you will never truly know how that feels. And I know it sounds harsh, and it probably sounds even worse if I wrote it on paper. But that is the truth. That is the facts of reality. If you have never had to go through this, you have no clue how we feel, what we're going through. And I, as a survivor, as someone who can directly relate to those situations with children, I personally understand the pain. I understand the struggle. I understand that experience. A lot of you don't like that. I don't care. It is what it is. I've been there. I've done that. I understand it. I've been in the fucking trenches of childhood cancer. It's not fun. It hurts. And all you people out there who say, well, Jared, you should really get over it. It wasn't your kid. You know what? Just shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear it. If you want to gossip about me on Facebook, which you do anyway, I really don't care. My feelings about children dying from cancer, my feelings about children being diagnosed with cancer, you are not in a position to tell me how I should feel. Not just from a human standpoint, but from a survivor standpoint. Don't fucking tell me what I should think, what I should feel, what I should say. Don't tell me what my opinion should be, because I'm going to tell you to get fucked right away, right off the bat, without hesitation. So just do yourselves a favor and save it. And yeah, I am upset. Of course I'm upset about what happened. It's a young boy. It's a child. 8 years old. He had his life robbed of him because of a fucking brutal, just an awful disease. And it claims lives indiscriminately. And there's no denying that. That's the world that we're in. But for anyone to tell me that I can't think a certain way, feel a certain way, fuck off with that, because I will think and feel anything I want at any time I want. And that's from a survivor standpoint. Now, people out there who have never had to watch their children go through this, people who are latching on because they have insecurity issues, which, by the way, is a psychological problem, go find something else. You don't get to use this as a way to make yourself look good. And it's right at this point, it's right at this particular point when I find great anger and frustration, because you are using this, whoever you are, Joe Schmo, using this. You have no direct connection with childhood cancer. You have no scar tissue in this whatsoever. You are using children to make yourself look good, and it fucking disgusts me to the point of no return. And I, for one, am sick to death of people like you who are coming along and using this to make it about yourself. I am sick and tired of it. And they continue to get away with that. That's the whole thing about that just totally disgusts me. It makes me want to puke. Because I am sick and tired of people like this doing this kind of shit. Using children dying as a way to make themselves look good. When they have never had to go through that. They've never had to live out this kind of experience. Ever in their lives. Ever. Why are you here? That's my question. Why the fuck are you here in the first place? You have no business being here. If you really want to make a difference, become a fucking volunteer firefighter. Don't get yourself involved in diseases that inflict children because it makes you look good. You're doing it for the wrong reasons. And that's the part that, I think every time I talk about this or whenever I witness this, when I see someone behaving this way, doing this kind of shit, my fucking blood boils. I have high blood pressure. I'm almost certain that I do. And maybe I should see a doctor for that. But that kind of thing severely hot tempers me. It gets me angry and frustrated to the point where I want to put my fucking fist through someone's face. And I can think of a couple people right off. But we're talking about a child who, he was one determined little dude. One strong little guy. And, that was like a highlight. That was a high point for me, to be able to write letters to him, because whenever he would have to go in to get access for his chemo, whenever he would have a fear of needles, the letters that I would write to him would always cheer him up. They would lift him up. They would help get him through that difficult situation. And right now as I speak, I'm looking at this particular picture that he drew me. It says, "Happy birthday, Jared." I'll always love you, kiddo. I need a minute, guys. Just 1 second. Oh, this is so hard. This is so difficult. I didn't think it would hit me like this, but I love him so much. What a kid, huh? Anyway, guys, I don't know what else to say. I'm just, other than the fact that, my heart's broken and I have a strong disgust for people who are disingenuous and insincere about what they're trying to do. This isn't going to be a long Daily Rant recording. I just wanted to get a few extra words out because there's so much more that needs to be said, and I don't know what the words are. I can't find the words. I can't gather anything of substance to pass along to truly express how I feel, because sometimes the heart feels what the mouth, what the lips can't describe. And there's only two things in life that never come back once they're gone. That's time and people. Once they're gone, it's gone forever. So my advice to you today and for the week ahead and for the days ahead and time going forward is that you need to love and cherish the people who are in your life, the people that actually care about you, the people who want to know how you're doing, the people who check up on you every day. Cherish those people. Enjoy the time that you get with them, because this is only temporary. We are only temporary. We're limited edition. We go away after a while. We fade off into obscurity. Time doesn't stand still, ever. So we really and truly have to live for every second we get. Live in the moment instead of for the moment. But this young man, I look at his picture that he drew me, and this heart that he had drawn for me, and I'll always love you, buddy. I'll always love you to the day I die. And that's how I'll end this daily rant. Have a good day, guys. Toodaloo.